नमस्कार, सलाम, याली मदद, सत श्री अकाल, वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू कैलगरी। आप सबका स्वागत है हमारे प्रोग्राम आपकी आवाज़ में। ये प्रोग्राम आप देखते हैं हमारे अपने फेवरेट टीवी चैनल पंजाबी नेशनल पर। मैं आपका होस्ट, आपका दोस्त अमृत ब्रार आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं अपने इस प्रोग्राम में और आशा करता हूं कि आप स्वस्थ होंगे, मस्त होंगे और सुरक्षित होंगे। कैलगरी का मौसम चेंज होता हुआ इस समय बर्फबारी हो रही है। प्लीज़ अपना ध्यान रखें, गाड़ी आराम से चलाएं, बी सेफ, ड्राइव सेफ because suddenly the weather has changed, so it is the roads are slippery, तो प्लीज़ अपना आप ध्यान रखें। आज वैसाखी का शुभ अवसर और हमारी पूरी टीम की तरफ से सभी जनों को वैसाखी की शुभकामनाएं और हैप्पी वैसाखी टू एवरीवन। आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत अमेजिंग पर्सन जुड़ रही हैं, which is Honorable Associate Minister of Status of Women-Alberta, Miss Issik। उनसे बातचीत करेंगे और जानेंगे वो क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे लिए लेके आई हैं। तो आइए मिलकर स्वागत करते हैं उनका। मैम, वेलकम टू द शो।
Thank you very much. Really pleasure to be here.
So, ma'am, as I was reading and following you, there were a few announcements which you have made in last few days. And to start with, there is a funding for women, and there's a program which is called STEM, and you have given additional funding in that, and you made an announcement for that. Can you please explain what exactly it is and how people or women can benefit from it?
You bet. So STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math.
Yes.
These are, obviously science and technology fields.
Right.
And one of the interesting things about this is that women are largely underrepresented in the fields of STEM. Mm-hmm. We've noted that they're amongst university or post-secondary students, there's about 45% of the students enrolled in STEM are female. And yet when we go to see in the employment fields in STEM, there's only about a 25% employment rate of women in those fields. And so we see that there's what we call a leaky pipeline there. Additionally, we know that women are doing well in terms of representation in many of the STEM fields, the science fields in particular, that's around biosciences. But we've also noted that in some fields, computer science, some engineering, that women are actually markedly underrepresented. And rather than that number increasing, it's actually starting to go a bit backwards. And so we're concerned about that. And the reason we're very, very concerned about that is a couple of reasons. One is we know that the Alberta economy is diversifying, and we know that we need to. And so as we move forward in our Alberta economy, we know that we need more high-tech workers. And we know that in order to be able to fulfill those workers' roles, we will need women's participation. Secondly, we also know that STEM fields are high-paying careers. And when we speak about the gender pay gap, we need to understand that when women are underrepresented in high-paying careers, that also feeds the gender pay gap. So we're concerned about that. And so as a result, we're undertaking a number of measures, cross-ministry, collaboratively, to start addressing and continue addressing these issues. And so I was really pleased in the fall to announce the STEM scholarship, which was to be 50 scholarships of $2,500 each for women in STEM. I was very, very pleased the other day to announce an increase to that funding, where we actually funded 293 scholarships for women in STEM. Wow. So it was a market increase.
No, definitely. I totally agree with you. Another thing which I would like to mention over here is that why we have less number of women following this career. I think, especially in South Asian, culture, the women are usually, they are treated that, okay, you stay at home and you take care of the kids and cook and that's all. Or maybe you can work in McDonald's or, work a little bit part-time and then that's it. But I think these programs will motivate them, and the family support is very important, because if you are married, if you have kids, because we are so, kind of privileged, or we can say we are lucky that there is no age factor in Canada to go back to school.
Correct.
You can go anytime, and you can, enhance your skills, and you can study. So I believe these kind of programs will definitely motivate women to come out and go out and study and do something with their lives.
Well, and I'll tell you, one of the things that we did was take the age cap off of the scholarship.
Amazing.
So a woman of any age can apply for this scholarship. But additionally, we've also done other investments in the recent past with respect to women in STEM. So, for instance, we recently announced a bursary program for Norquest College, Bow Valley College, and one of the Indigenous colleges to provide wraparound bursaries and this is primarily aimed at women who probably come from lower income situations,
Right.
where it will provide wraparound services such as childcare, transportation, to not only the tuition, but also the books and supplies to really enable women to get into the STEM fields. We also announced recently work with Momentum, an investment with Momentum to bring women into cloud computing. And we're very, very pleased about that investment as well. All of these will help bring forward women into the STEM fields at the post-secondary level. But we're also making investments to bring women and girls in particular in the elementary, junior high, and high school age groups into STEM, and to keep them in STEM, to, again, stem the leaky pipeline. Through investments with Junior Achievement, for instance. And so we're doing, like I said, a number of cross-ministry collaborative initiatives to really have women participate more fully in the STEM fields.
Absolutely. And I believe to initiate this program at a junior level will help to motivate the girls, because they can see this as a career. Because sometimes we feel that, okay, maybe we are financially not that sound, right? And we won't be able to make it to that level where we can spend so much of money for the higher studies. But at least, we are so lucky that we can get grants, we can have advantage of such programs which can motivate girls at a junior level, and then once they are in the college or any university, they can at least follow this.
That's correct. And, it really is about a pipeline. It's about encouraging girls in school to really participate fully in science and math classes, and now coding classes, computer science classes, moving forward through junior high school and high school. And what we need to do is keep girls and women engaged in the STEM fields as they go through their entire education, moving forward into adulthood. And then, of course, what's really important as we move through the STEM pipeline is to make sure that there are women in leadership positions in the STEM fields. And I'll tell you, one of the things about that's interesting about Alberta is, while women are underrepresented in the STEM fields, there is a large proportion of our tech startups that are actually run and started by women entrepreneurs. And so that entrepreneurship piece is really important as well. And so we're working on that front as well.
That's amazing. Thank you for doing that, ma'am, for the public. And I'm very sure that the girls, and especially the family, will definitely think of making those girls go out and make something of their lives and do something good in the career. Thank you for that. Second information which I would like to get from you is that there was a economic recovery challenge grant to help enhance economic opportunities for women. Can you give a little bit information on that, please?
So this grant, the idea behind it was to really go out to civil society. So that's our not-for-profits, our community groups, post-secondaries, municipalities, and others, to really ask them to put forward their best, most creative, unique ideas on how to really enhance the participation of women in the workforce. Certainly STEM was part of that focus. It was one of the questions we were asking, but it was really about, how do we enhance women's participation in the workforce? How do we help women re-enter the workforce after the pandemic? How do we ensure that women are able to transition careers? Because we know, and this is something that isn't as talked about as much, but we've not only been through a pandemic, but we've been through a recession, and we've been through a big a big change in our oil and gas industry. We had a huge consolidation in our oil and gas industry, and a lot of women lost their jobs in oil and gas. And how do we help women pivot those careers? That's a lot of talent, and you don't want to leave that talent just sitting on the table.
Right.
And so we asked these groups, what are your best ideas to really address this? And so we were really fortunate that a lot of groups came forward with great ideas, great projects, and we were able to fund 20 of them. Some for a little less than $100,000, and some for, I think there was 9 of them that were over $200,000. And these are projects that will reach every segment of society and actually every age group, from girls and school-age girls all the way up to career-age women and beyond, to really enhance their participation in the workforce. So really exciting news on that front. And that was $1 million grant spread across 20 organizations.
Well, that's amazing, because that's a big encouragement to these women and the people who are thinking beyond, like, whatever their status is, and trying to come out of that recession and come out of that COVID conditions and try to make something else than their background. So I think that's an amazing news. All these grants and how to apply is available on a website where they can go and reach. That is, I think, alberta.ca.
You bet. And the next tranche of scholarships will be released in the fall again. And but stay tuned. There's a lot more coming. This is not a sort of once and done sort of project. We know how important it is for our economy. Women are the backbone of our economy, really.
100%.
And we know that participation of women in our economy is crucial. That's why we worked very, very hard to get a good deal for Alberta for childcare. Minister Rebecca Schultz really, she dug in her heels and she got a Made in Alberta childcare plan for Alberta. Had we taken the federal money sight unseen, we would have, the first thing we would have done is put a whole bunch of women entrepreneurs who run childcare businesses out of business. So she might only be 5'1", but she's a pretty tough cookie. She got a big deal. But here's the most important part of this. This will reduce childcare fees for families by about 50%.
Wow.
And that makes an enormous difference in terms of women being able to participate in the workforce. So that's also a giant key to all of this. And we're going to continue working on this as we go forward. And I'll give you a little spoiler alert here. In coming days, we'll be making an announcement with respect to a women's hub, where women will be able to find information more easily at their fingertips. Because one of the resources we know that women struggle with the most is time. When you have 3 jobs, whether it's looking after your kids, looking after elders, going to work every day, you don't have a lot of time to spend on the internet for hours looking for something. And so we're pretty excited about an upcoming announcement about that as well.
So I know you said upcoming, but this hub which you are talking about, this will help the women to have like all the information under one roof, right?
Right. And we know that women on a daily basis require lots of different services. They're constantly looking for things, whether it's programming for their kids, whether it's, how do I find more resources for my elder parent? What about healthcare? There are certain issues around healthcare where we need to go and find services. And so this will all help that. So, yeah.
So, ma'am, this will be only applicable to women, or anybody else can also go there and take that?
Well, you know what? Women's information for services that women look for are often looked for by men as well. We just know that there are services that are most often looked for by women, and so we're going to really focus on that.
No, for sure, ma'am. And thank you for that childcare news, because that is huge. Because once you are, come out of that mindset that, okay, there is so much of money going for my childcare, that if I go out and work, like almost 80% of my money which I earn goes for childcare. Right. And if we can save that, then that will, free our mind, and then we can concentrate on other things in life. And thank you for doing that. That's amazing news, ma'am.
You bet. Yeah, it's going to make a huge difference.
Absolutely, ma'am. And all these news and all these information which ma'am is giving, it is available on alberta.ca. You can definitely go there and check it out. Anything else you want to add today, ma'am, before we end today's program?
Well, I just want to, say to all Albertans, your Alberta government is here for you. We've been through a really tough time. Everybody has really done their best to come through this. Continue to work hard and make sure that things are moving forward. And your Alberta government is really here to support you in that. And I just want to also wish everybody a happy Visiki as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a very big festival for South Asian community like Sikhs, and all over the world, wherever the Sikhs are, it's celebrated. So it's a huge festival for us. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to talk to you again. And your team is doing amazing work. They keep on updating us with the news and with all the information, and they also help us to coordinate with you so that you can give the information directly to the people. Thank you for that, ma'am.
Always a pleasure. Nice to see you again.
Take care, ma'am. You have a good day.
You as well.
तो ये थे हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेटस ऑफ वुमेन। सबसे बड़ा जो फायदा होने जा रहा है वो हमारी बहनों माताओं के लिए है, क्योंकि ये जो स्टेम प्रोग्राम है ये आपके लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर आप इसको फॉलो करेंगे तो एटलीस्ट आपके लिए कुछ ग्रांट्स हैं जो आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं अपनी स्किल्स को, अपनी एजुकेशन को एनहांस करने के लिए। प्लस जो चाइल्ड केयर है, चाइल्ड केयर जो बेनिफिट आपको मिलने वाला है, ऑलमोस्ट आपकी जो कॉस्ट है चाइल्ड केयर की 50% तक रिड्यूस कर देगा। जैसे ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ने कहा, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर हमारी लाइफ के लिए, बिकॉज रोज़मर्रा की ज़िंदगी में जहाँ पे हम लोग अपने बच्चों का सबसे पहले ध्यान रखते हैं, तो वो एक इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्टर हो जाता है जहाँ पर हम अपनी जो कॉस्ट है वो चाइल्ड केयर की कम कर सकते हैं। तो प्लीज़ आप इसका ज़रूर फ़ायदा उठाएं। alberta.ca पे जाकर इस इंफॉर्मेशन की सारी जानकारी, इस स्टेटमेंट की जानकारी लें, इस काफ़ी ग्रांट्स जो हैं उसकी जानकारी लें ताकि आप इसका फ़ायदा उठा सकें। अगेन, आज बैसाखी का त्यौहार, हमारी पूरी टीम की तरफ से आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। बिफोर आई एंड मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि ये शो जो है ये आपके लिए हम लोग लेके आते हैं, और इस शो का मतलब सिर्फ आपके लिए इंफॉर्मेशन देना, आपको गवर्नमेंट के जो भी नए प्रोजेक्ट्स आ रहे हैं उसके साथ जोड़ना है। हर शो का मतलब सिर्फ ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ नहीं, हंगामा नहीं, तमाशा नहीं। ये शो है आपकी आवाज़ का, आपके मुद्दे का, आपके जज्बात के साथ साथ आपके भरोसे का, क्योंकि आपका भरोसा हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। उम्मीद आपकी कोशिश हमारी है। थैंक यू सो मच।